Hello. Great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way for this year is re-examination of how you are spending your time, what goals and what projects you want to work towards. Okay, so it's not just about seeing the short term. 3 months from now, I want to land a job, and then I just want to work at that job. It's about seeing the bigger picture in the overall scheme of things, where you want to be, so you can take the steps towards that direction. For many of you, I feel there might be some blockages when it comes to, getting settled into the job that you want. There might be physical limitations or restrictions as to going on job interviews or even getting the job that you feel is properly suitable for you. So restrictions can come, via geographical location, not having a car and you need to commute a distance away to get the job. But either way, I feel that the energy here, there's a lot of things that you need to sort out for this month in order to get your life back on track. And I do see many areas that need a little bit more tweaking, fine-tuning in order to get yourself reoriented, okay? So let's go into the reading. The first thing that really jumped out at me here is your work sector. And I look at the 6th house for work and the 10th house for your overall career path. And what it shows up here for the 6th house is the world in the reverse position. So I feel like some of you are of retirement age, but you're still pushing yourself to work for another few years so that you can have, the adequate payout, the adequate pension added to your employment situation. So I feel that, some of you, you're at that retirement age, but you're pushing yourself to work a little bit harder, okay? And then others of you might already be retired. You might be retired at at the right age, but you feel physically very, very good. You feel very active. You feel like your mind is still really sharp. So you might venture into other avenues to make additional income. And when you are doing that, I do sense that, you have many direction as to where you want to go. It feels to me as if it's a no holds bar. There isn't any limitation affecting you at that present moment. And even though you might have been in the same industry for like 30 years, for example, I do feel there are opportunities coming through for you to branch out and, do something new that you have never done before. I do feel a lot of you are thinking seriously about getting into spirituality, getting into some type of healing profession. So, devoting your time either interning, volunteering, or even working in some capacity that might be healthcare related. And I do see a very strong push for you to get into the mental health profession, okay? I'm seeing some of the career paths that might be suitable for those of you who are not sure and are trying to find your way. I do see the mental health profession is linked up here with the 9 of Swords as well as the Temperance card. Working in a capacity where you have to deal with people possibly with mental health issues, with I'm seeing like parolees, I'm seeing in the probation office, and I'm also seeing substance abuse counseling as well. I feel like those would be really good professions for you. Um, you are the last sign of the zodiac, and you basically embody all the previous, the zodiac signs before you. And being the last sign of the zodiac, I feel that you have this really deep-rooted understand of humanity, their problems, their struggles, and I do feel that getting into a profession where you are serving others, it's going to not only bring you a lot of success, but to also help you heal your own help you see and provide insights for you in your own life, as well as bringing a lot of emotional satisfaction and emotional, and also good karma when it comes to getting yourself in a profession that allows you to help others in whatever capacity, okay? It's like allowing others to see the forest for the trees, to see like how their actions have led them to this specific point in time. And I feel that if you are able to unravel that for other people, you're going to be able to do that with a lot of insights, a lot of wisdom. And I feel like that's where a lot of you are supposed to be, okay? So I do feel professions in those tracks would be really good for you. And if this is something, if you are retired, for example, and you're looking to branch out and you're looking to network and you're looking to devote your time either through, philanthropy, through volunteer, through, doing some type of internships, I do sense that getting yourself in alignment to do work with either charitable organizations, nonprofit organizations, or even volunteering your time to help people in need. Convalescent homes come to mind, as well as nursing homes, retirement homes, suicide hotline preventions. I feel some of you are veering towards that track, okay? And I also see some of you might be geographically I feel like a little bit stuck when it comes to pursuing jobs. Okay, so I feel that you are looking, on the one hand, you are looking, and there are a lot of possibilities opening up for you. Some of them might be realistic, some of them might have constraints associated with them. So I feel that there is, in your present geographical location, there might be difficulties allowing you to find the jobs that you want. So the jobs might take you, might require a commute, and you might not have a car, for example. The jobs, and even if you were to take public transportation, I feel like the job is kind of out of the way, outside of the main, urban centers, where you might not have the proper transportation. And then others of you, I'm sensing lack of transportation, and I'm also sensing like during the job hunt, you might realize that geographically around your area, there aren't a lot of opportunities that meet your expectations. Okay, so I'm feeling that you might need to branch out a little bit more. Okay, you might need to make like do a little bit more commuting, invest in a car, invest in that vehicle, or at least branch out of your geographical location for work. The financial situation, I feel, applies for a few of you. Okay, I feel that you are still financially linked up with another person when it comes to how you both are working together as a unit to do financial planning. So you might be linked up via children, via custody issues, via alimony. And I feel for some of you, it's still like the tail end of a bitter arrangement, something that you feel is not fair. So for example, you might share children with another person, and there's compensation from you to them that you feel is not fair, or from them to you where they feel it's not fair. So I feel some imbalances that needs to be sorted out in your financial sector, especially if it is linked up with another person. Others of you, I do feel like having to take care of family members, such as elderly parents, or even I'm sensing some financial assistance as well, possibly caretaking coming through from family members or even like a sibling. And no matter how much you're making, it just feels almost as if, because of all these obligations, money just slipped through your fingers. And then if you're taking care of elderly parents, I feel that, you might not have the proper emotional or financial support from other siblings. And so you feel that innately the situation is unbalanced or unfair somehow. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen in the family front, okay? And this is the family that you grew up in, and also the family that you're creating for yourself. So I do see some struggles that might not be entirely good moving forward as it relates to your financial situation, if you are sharing assets, if you are financially linked up with another person. So just, try to sort that out, try to figure out what's going on. I also feel there is somebody in your life, okay? And for some of you, it could be a romantic partner. Although I'm seeing more family members and people in your friendship circle, I feel like there's a little bit of a confusing energy surrounding them. So you don't really know what's going on with them. You don't know what they're going through. But I do feel sometime for this month, friends would come out of the woodwork. People potentially that you haven't spoken to in a while. They're going to kind of unload some things that they've been dealing with. So they might have some, issues with depression. They might have some issues with like conflict in their life, and they need a shoulder to lean on. I don't feel that you're in a position to take on their problems as if it were your own. Just give them, a shoulder to lean on. give them, I feel like they want to vent. I feel like they don't really need advice, okay? And a lot of the times too, when people come to us with issues, our automatic response, because we care about them, is to offer advice. But I do feel in this situation, they just want to vent. And for some of you too, I feel like the friend that's coming into your life, or the sibling that's coming to into your life to vent about these things, they might not tell you the whole story. I feel like they're holding back something. They're holding back the version of the truth. They're not giving you the full story because there are certain things that they might be a little bit embarrassed about or even ashamed about. So they're not giving you, you know, like the truthful narrative regarding what they're dealing with. So giving them advice is not even going to be meaningful, because I feel like they're holding back some information. And I feel as well, it's not like you're not aware of it. You are fully aware that they're not telling you the whole story because they might have a history of withholding the truth. Okay. And then I see that for some of you, this might be somebody also in your work environment. Okay, so if you're dealing with if you're working in a mental health capacity, if you're working in a environment that has a lot of I want to say, like, there might be some reshuffling within the industry. There might be some reorganization, new procedures being put in place as well. And I feel coworkers as well can come to you with issues that they're dealing with. And I feel like if it's a coworker, they are honest and they are sincere and they're giving you the whole story. But it's sort of like you both then decide, like, wow, this is big. What do we do now? Like, how are we going to proceed? What actions do we need to take? And, you know, do you want me to be to testify? Do you want me to be a witness? Can you can put me down for, you know, like my for as a preference or as a reference, excuse me. So I do feel that there's something big if it's a person in your work environment coming to you about some issues that they're dealing with. It could be problems with HR. It could be problems related to I'm seeing, like, you know, some workplace injustice. So it could be even, I'm sensing like wrongful termination. I'm sensing like discrimination, and I'm sensing things that are of a serious nature that has them very distressed. Okay, so I feel that in that situation, you can offer your help because I feel like the person is not withholding information. But if it's coming from the friendship circle, you want to take whatever they tell you with a grain of salt. And I feel more than anything, they want to vent. They don't really want to find a solution, okay? And additionally, they might tell you, you know, oh, yeah, my husband or my partner or my wife or my significant other and I are going through are seeing a therapist, for example. So I'm seeing a lot of healing happening to around you as well as to people around you, which is a good thing. But with the Nine of Swords here in your friendship sector, I do sense there's a little bit of distressing energy, distress calls coming through from friendships, okay, like friendship circle. If you haven't heard from somebody in a long time and you get a missed call from them, just follow up. Try to see what's going on, because I feel some urgency is needed from their end, okay? Needing advice, needing a shoulder to lean on, all right? I'm seeing a lot of you. You have some creative activities that you're doing on the side. So this is like an income generating endeavor related to the healing profession. So I'm getting that many of you might, you know, might be working in some type of a healthcare industry. Okay, this can also be like spiritual healing as well. For those of you who are doing Reiki healing or are a Reiki healer and you're doing this on the side, or even like a massage therapist, or even working in a spa facility as well. So I do feel something that you're doing part-time, something that you really love, really enjoy, arts and crafts as well. There's a healing component associated with it. So it could be crystal healing. It could also be doing energy work in some capacity where you're making quite a bit of money. And I feel like you're going to really appreciate the fact that you're able to help people overcome their own challenges. Okay, so this is a very, very good card here. Others of you, if you have had, so the fifth house here, we have the star, and the fifth house deals with creativity. And for those of you with children who might have been estranged from your own children, there's going to be some sense of healing coming through, okay? If you have children, that is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn, and there might have been some type of a tenuous family environment, family situation. I do feel there's some information coming to light so that you can overcome issues together as a unit, okay, as a family unit. If the relationships have been very, very difficult in the past, I do feel there's still going to be some communication, some news coming through from them to allow you to, if the situation, if you were blaming yourself for the estrangement in the relationship with your family members, and especially when it relates to your children, I feel that there's going to be some insights that will let you know that, it takes two to tango, and in this situation, it might not have been completely you, because it's a two-way street with this relationship interaction. And I feel like if it was not harmonious in the past, there's some, there's an energy for reconciliation, okay? Let me see if there's anything else that really stands out. When it comes to travel, I do feel there's an energy here overall for many of you of feeling a little bit restricted, feeling of just kind of like I just want to get away, wanting to like break out of your skin, wanting to do something different, wanting to restart your life. Okay, you might be of retirement age, thinking about retirement, and then you're thinking, well, let me sit down and see how much money I have and see if I can, travel. So I do feel a lot of travel planning coming into the picture, but with the Temperance card in the ninth house of travel, it basically says that the planning stages are happening. You're anxious about doing it. You're very excited, but I feel that it's going to be delayed for a few months. Okay, so I feel like it is there. It is available for you, but I don't feel many of you are taking the trip this month. You might start the preliminary, planning stages, but it might not happen until the end of this year or even in the summertime. But I'm seeing more towards the end of this year. All right, so that's always a good thing, but I feel like many of you are wanting to travel right now. You want to just see what's available for you right now. In terms of your relationship sector, we have here the Queen of Wands. And this can be a male or female fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. If you are involved with this person in a relationship, I feel for some of you, this might be like a previous relationship partner, actually. And I'm sensing that this person has moved on. It's a previous relationship partner. The relationship has been a little bit tumultuous. There's a sense of like restriction associated with this relationship. You might like the other person, but there might be geographical constraints. And it's also really difficult for you both as a unit to move forward together. They seem to me like a very good person, somebody with a really good heart, somebody who's very, who could be, into sports, into athletic, into working out, but they could also be just very adventurous. They might not be ready to settle down at the time that you were in a relationship with each other. So I feel there's still communication between you and the other person, okay? And then for some of you, this could be somebody that you share a child with, even though they're not physically a relationship partner. I still feel there's still a connection between you and them via children, via custody, via something, okay? And I'm also sensing if you have children with this person, there might be a need to see some type of, counselor together as a unit, because there might be some issues here when it comes to the child, the child's cognitive development is what I'm sensing, as well as the child's emotional health, or even academic performance. Okay, so there's something here. I'm seeing like PTA meeting with like an ex-partner that you share a child with in order to talk to the children's school administrators or even teachers. So some issues here regarding younger children that you might have to deal with an ex-partner that you share a child with. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And then for others of you, there is a fire sign here in your environment that you are in a relationship with. And I do feel there's a lot of healing happening with this person. If the relationship has been a little bit tumultuous, if the relationship has been a little bit just, topsy-turvy, and we all go through these relationship cycles where things are not always going to be, rainbows and lollipop. We do go through this ebb and flow of energy where conflict can show up in the most stable relationships as well. If they have been kind of like unemployed, I feel that there is going to be a lot more stability coming through in their environment. Okay, so that means getting a proper job, getting a promotion, even getting like a pay increase, and that's really going to boost their self-esteem. And then for others, if they have been working part-time, I do feel they're being offer something that is a little bit more full-time, which will really help the relationship. And then others of you, a small minority, I feel like if you have a partner that is a fire sign, there might be discussions about working, having to commute for work, so they're going to be away from the household for a longer period of time. Or there might be, offers about changing geographical locations, so they might be thinking about moving, and I feel that you both might move as a unit together, but they're still trying to decide. And then after they decide, they will come back to you and they will have this discussion with you about, where the relationship is going, as well as, is this move viable for the both of us? Can the both of us move together? Is that economically possible for you to leave your job and move with me? So I do sense there are serious discussions here for your relationship partner about career moves, okay? Like career moves or even physical move for a career. So you have some really dynamic things coming through here. And I feel for many of you, there is this really big push towards the healing industry, like, healthcare healing, okay? So that could be modern medicine, traditional medicine as well. So I do see that it's going to be something that will make you feel quite good, quite proud of yourself, because your skills are being properly utilized in an environment that you can help others and enable others to see, the forest for the trees. So I feel like this is going to be a really good month for you to really think about your long-term trajectory when it comes to your career and your work situation, okay? So I am going to go into your love reading now, Pisces. And this falls in your 7th house, love and relationships. Well, it's partnership in love and in business, actually. So I'm going to use that as the segue for the next part of the reading, the love, romance, and relationship reading. So what's going on for Pisces for love, relationships, and romance? So, okay. I'm seeing that for those of you, especially who are single and looking, this is a really good month to get out and about, to, mingle, have social outings, okay? It is also your birthday time to letting loose, just having fun and having no strings attached type of like dating situation. I feel that it's going to be really good for many of you to get out and about for this month, okay? The energies of the Queen of Wands. This is a very popular person. So this can be your energy, male or female. It's somebody who's really popular, who's very friendly, who's also quite flirtatious. So they are telling you, in terms of advice, it's good to embody the energy of this person and be the you that is really vivacious, that's very people oriented, and try to put yourself out there and not be so much of a wallflower, okay? Doing more physical activities too. I see some of, but I feel like more of you are just doing it just because you feel like it is time to do that, and you feel that your physical health, you feel that it's important, so you want to put yourself out there in that capacity. Okay, so it looks quite good. And then I feel for others of you, there are also child rearing situation. So you might be, a single mother, single father, wanting to restart your dating life, and there might be also children in the picture. So you're trying to find somebody who is like-minded so that you can, um, so you might have your own child and you're dating somebody, and you're very careful about dating because you want somebody who is family oriented as well, and you want somebody who will be a good mother or stepfather to your child. So you're not looking only for your relationship partner, you're looking for somebody that you can share children with. Okay. And then others of you, I feel like it goes both ways, where you have a lot of options here. We see a lot of options on the table, but you're kind of compartmentalizing. You might meet some really exciting, really fun people, but they might not, be the long-term relationship material. So you're still going on dates, just having fun with them, not committing yourself. And then for others, you've met somebody that really, really stands out. And I feel like, they might have children of their own. And so you're trying to figure out, like, do I want to get involved in this? Or do I feel like they're going to be a good, stepmother, stepfather to my child? So I'm seeing a lot of incorporation of, people into your family environment as well. Okay. So let me just talk about the past first, because that's important to clear up out of the way. This is somebody who is looking for love. She or he is very flirtatious. She or he is also in a position right now where, they're making good money. They're on top of the world, and they're also looking for new adventures. Okay, so I feel a lot of you have left old relationships in the past, and you're branching out and you're trying to find new dating opportunities. I feel like this is your energy. In the past, we have here the Judgment card as well as the Emperor. So there is some clearing of breaking away from restrictions, clearing up of old energies, clearing up of old people from the past out of your life completely. Okay, we have the Judgment card showing up in the reverse as well as the Emperor. Both of these are very, very strong major arcana cards that indicates to me some residual karma that you still have with another person. This can be via children. This can be via having to communicate with somebody that you're no longer, emotionally involved with, but you have to do it because of shared responsibilities. So that could be, finances, or that could be via children. Okay. So I'm seeing many of you are dealing with this, and I feel that what's coming through is, this message applies for a few of you. You might have dated somebody who was quite controlling, or you yourself might have been a little bit controlling in the relationship. And I feel that, it's sort of like a relationship where two people really care about each other. And there was a lot of attraction. There was a lot of lust. There was a lot of chemistry involved in that relationship. But for whatever reason, there were also ego clashes. There were also issues related to trust. And it made the relationship very tumultuous. I feel like you're looking at this in hindsight and you're just like, what was I doing? Or, why was I in that relationship for so long? And I do sense as well that there's potential here for hearing from this past relationship partner. Many of you might have been involved with a fire sign, so a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And you might hear from them, but I feel like they're not looking for reconciliation or rekindling the relationship. I feel that they have moved on. Okay, so you might hear from them, and it's also your birthday time, so they might just shoot. It's no longer viable to come back together. And the foundation, this is something that to be true, and you're coming into, it could be that fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. There were a lot of discord, disagreements, and I feel like problems overall associated with this person. So you already know this to be true. You're looking at the situation in hindsight, and you're like, that wasn't a really good relationship. I feel like there was a lot of chemistry, a lot of attraction, and also, this wanting to be together and losing ourselves in a relationship. And I feel that many of you, it started out as the great love, or you thought it was the one for you. But looking at the situation in hindsight, I feel that you're coming to the realization as well that it was not great. There might have been a lot of control issues. And so moving forward, you're trying to find somebody that doesn't, contain these qualities of jealousy, ego, conflict, and things like that. So things that are associated with the past relationship, you're trying to find people that will not, embody those energies. So you're trying to find somebody different. You're trying to date outside of your usual type. And I feel like it's still a difficult process for many of you to get over this person and to maintain your distance from this person, okay? But I feel that it's a major awakening that's coming into the picture in your relationship sector. So you're not going to be going back to this. But I just feel like, even then you still dwell on the relationship, and you're trying to find ways to move forward so that you don't attract the same types of relationship partner, which is really good, Pisces. And I actually have been feeling this for a few months on and off. It would come back like every 3 months or so, this energy in your relationship sector. So I'm glad you're moving away from it. And I'm glad that it's kind of like, lesson learned, move on, and try not to date somebody that has these same control issues, okay? Crowning this reading is something you're thinking about. We have here the Seven of Cups. And this is what I call like the online dating card, okay? So many of you might physically be meeting new people via speed dating, or others could be online dating. So we have here the Seven of Cups, which basically means that a lot of opportunities are opening up for you in terms of dating. You might be contending with, a lot of suitors. All the options need to be explored. So they're not saying that these are good or bad, but I feel that you're going to be going through the whole dating and experience, and you might, narrow down 7 suitors to 2 or 3 suitors so that you can focus exclusively on them. I keep seeing an energy that some of you who are dating right now, you have somebody that you really like and you feel like, oh, this is a relationship material. But for whatever reason, they themselves might also be quite popular. They have a lot of suitors as well. And then you have another options where you feel like, oh, this person is not relationship material, but they're fun and exciting, so I can, have fun with them. And I feel like that's fine if it's between consenting adults and if people are honest with each other. I don't see a lot of dishonesty here in this spread, but I do feel that you have somebody that you like, but it seems as if it's hard to set dates with them because they might be quite popular as well. And so either way, we have options that are opening up for you, and we have like a lot of social dating as well. And I feel many of you emerge from a relationship and you are thinking about putting yourself out there via social media or via online dating, or even just physically in real life, just, putting your feelers out there, letting other people know that you are single and looking. So this is a really good energy. A lot of you are afraid to take this first step, but I feel that it's going to be really good for you, okay? So moving forward into the central theme of the reading, we have here the Seven of Wands as well as the Two of Wands. Those of you who are involved specifically with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, and this is a person that you're still involved with. We have here the Seven of Wands. This is a situation where we are unable to defend ourselves, okay? So there might be a lot of conflict within the relationship, and I also feel like you both might not agree on a lot of things, and I feel that some of you, in order to restore the harmony in the relationship, or in order to ensure the harmony in the relationship, you might not be fighting for the things that you believe in. So even though you disagree with them, it seems almost as if you might not have a voice, okay? So be very careful about losing yourself in the relationship. And then for others of you who might be at a distance, in a long distance relationship from this person, I also feel that there's a sense that maybe they are drifting away. There's a sense maybe that, they are looking elsewhere for other relationship partners. So I'm sensing there's going to be a major discussion that needs to be had with this relationship partner, because it feels like there's a lot of conflict. There might be control issues too. And as well, it seems as if you both are at a distance and you're trying to figure out how to navigate, the longing and the just the geographical distance and the difficulties associated with that in order to work together as a unit and to continue the relationship. I'm seeing one partner having to commute for work, or they're doing a lot of traveling for work, and then the partner that is left behind having to manage the household, manage the kids, manage the everyday operations of living. And so a lot of the responsibility is falling on this partner, and there might be conflict coming up as a result of it. Okay. And I feel like, your partner, they're away on their travels. They're dealing with their own things. So it's not as if they're away on vacation. This is more like travel opportunities for work. So I feel that you're seeing things from your perspective, they're seeing things from their perspective, and there isn't a common discourse between the two of you as to who's doing what. So I feel like there's a little bit of resentment, comparison coming into the relationship if one partner is traveling heavily and the other partner is left behind, managing, the kids, the household. Have a conversation, because I feel like the partner's not aware of it. And I feel like you're also seeing things from this perspective here of all the work that you have to do. And the other person, they're also managing, their work environment. So there's a lot of stressors coming through from both sides, and you need to have a discussion to alleviate these tensions, okay? Moving forward in your future position, we have here the Three of Swords. So a lot of overcoming difficulties and challenges in relationships. For those who have left relationship partners behind, there is a period of, overcoming the heartache,